Greetings everyone, this is Jeff Wilkerson, Professor of Physics at Luther College, bringing you the next in our series of what to look for in the night sky. We're talking about October 10th, the week of October 10th, 2022 this time around. So working our way into fall pretty well. We're going to do something different. We're going to do something the same. That's what we always do, something the same, something different. A lot of what we've been talking about, but we're going to start later in the week and work forward. And so the dates I've written down here for you represent the evenings. A lot of the observations can go right on past midnight into the morning. But so the 14th here talks about the evening of the 14th. That's Friday night. And you could observe Saturday morning into the 15th. But what's going on? So we have a waning moon, just past full. So it's pretty full and washing out a lot of stuff in the sky, some things that we would want to see. We might not be able to observe because of too much moon. But if we start here, let's just look at as it gets dark, okay? As it gets dark all week long, the Taurus is going to start rising into the sky. So by the time, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you should be able to start to see parts of Taurus pretty well into the sky, especially maybe the Pleiades. So we look at Taurus, the really dramatic part of Taurus, the constellation, is two open star clusters. And we love open star clusters because they allow us to study. A lot of what we know about what stars are and how they evolve come from the study of open star clusters. And there are two really close ones, so they're spread out here. We have a group of stars that is the Hyades, and I often talk about the Hyades as a V, shaped like that. Aldebaran at the base, at the lower tip of the V here, that's translated from Arabic, the eye of the bull, that is. So our Hyades is here rising into the sky as it gets dark. So look east, maybe wait half an hour after dark or an hour after dark to let it get up over whatever local horizon issues you might have. And you see that the Hyades is a group of stars all located together in space, as a cluster will be. And it has a space of about, its width across here and about here is about 4 degrees. And we often say if you hold your hand out, your fist out at arm's length, that's about 10 degrees. So this is a great place to try this. The Hyades should be covered by about half of your hand. That's probably the best way to say that. So you go out and give that a try. Aldebaran is red. It's a nice, very red star. And above there is another open star cluster, a pretty famous open star cluster that is simply fantastic to observe. You can see it as a glittering little dipper of stars with your naked eye without any aid at all. In binoculars, it's just simply beautiful. Very few telescopes does it hold up in. It's so widespread that it tends to overfill the field of view of telescopes, and you just see a few stars scattered around. So the Pleiades is what we're talking about up here. And the Pleiades is maybe 12 degrees north of the V of the Hyades. So a little over a fist to a fist and a half width above the Hyades. The Pleiades will be climbing into the sky. By the time it gets dark, you probably can see the Pleiades. Now, if you go back the other direction, the Taurus stretches out this way. So we'll come up this way, extend the V out to El Nath, is the star out that direction, and then there's a star about the same distance. That's probably about 4 times that, maybe 16 degrees, 4 times the size of the V back out this direction. And there's a star maybe a little less far out that way on the bottom part of the V. Boy, I didn't hit that very well. But that's your V shape that marks Taurus the bull, and there's more out this direction with the Pleiades up here. Now, you go back to what we've talked about a few weeks ago. Mars has been tracking through Taurus this direction, prograde motion, easterly motion. And Mars sits above, about 2 degrees above this star at the end of the extended V in Taurus right now. So Mars is also big and bright and red like Aldebaran. So you want to go out and you want to look for those 2 big bright red dots separated by this 12 to 15 degrees, 10 to 15 degrees out this direction. And you'll see these 2 bright dots. Now between the star here and Mars is supernova remnant, the Crab Nebula, from a star that exploded in the year 1054. We're going to come back and talk about that, I think, next week. Since Mars is right there, it helps us find this in a telescope. The reason we don't want to talk about it this week so much is it's going to be hard to find this week in a telescope because there's so much moonlight now with this waning gibbous moon. So a lot of moonlight, and in fact, on the evening of the 14th into the morning of the 15th, the moon will pass right by here, right above Mars, and we'll make a nice pairing. Remember last week we talked about the moon making pairings with all sorts of the bright planets across there. This is another one on the evening of the 14th with Mars. So just after dark, go out. The moon will be about 73% full. But you know, when it's 3/4 full and waning, you might want to wait a good hour after sunset, after it's dark, in order to be able to see it, even an hour and a half. If you go out at 10 o'clock, you're probably going to be able to see that moon pretty well with Mars in Taurus the Bull. And so we're going to keep an eye on this region. Now, the moon has come, as it's moving easterly through the stars too, so it's come from up near the Pleiades, and on the evening of the 12th, as it gets dark, it's good and solid dark, you should be able to see the moon rising in the east, because it's between 85-90% full, almost full at that point, and it sits just a few degrees below the Pleiades. So this is a great chance. The Pleiades are bright enough, the stars in the Pleiades are bright enough, they hold up to the moonlight in the way the Crab Nebula is not going to hold up to the moonlight. The moonlight's just going to wash it out. It's got a low surface brightness, and so the sky scatters bright moonlight. You won't be able to see that. But on the 12th, you can look for the Pleiades there. A pair of binoculars would really be your friend, would be great right here, to look at the Pleiades as the moon goes by on the night of the 12th. Now this whole region, I should point out, there's a picture up. We advertised our website last week. We're going to advertise our website again this week, www.luther.edu/astronomy/galleries/open clusters with a dash between them, /Hyades Pleiades. And so you can go out there, if you get on the astronomy site, you can go through galleries and into open star clusters and find this. And there's a picture of this region of the sky, just taken with a phone. So you got a nice phone picture of this region of the sky, and the moon is there then too. This is from earlier this year, 6 months ago probably. And so the moon is in this region of the sky at that time in that picture, but you can get a sense of some of these stars. What's not in that picture, it cuts off here. It's just the Hyades and the Pleiades. You don't see the extension of Taurus the Bull in the picture that's out there. So that's what we got on the 12th. That's Wednesday night and Friday night. The moon's over here by Mars. On the 12th, it's by the Pleiades. It's coming on the night of the 11th when it's 95% full, just after being full on the 11th. It's coming from a very, very close interaction with Uranus. And this is worth trying to check out. So where I live, so it's going to the moon's actually going to blot out Uranus. And so you're actually going to be able to see the moon pass over it. In some parts of the world, the western half of North America is great for that. And where I live, here in the middle of the United States, it's just going to be right on the edge of whether you would actually be able to see an occultation or not. The moon is just going to graze probably just above the planet. So just barely above that planet. And so now, Uranus isn't very bright. It's just below, just above, just brighter than 6th magnitude right now. If you had a completely dark sky, you actually could, in a dry, dark sky, you could probably make that out, a lot of people, without any optical aid at all. You'd have to know what you were looking for, but you could see it there. With the moon there, it's going to be a lot harder to see, but I'm guessing if you have a good pair of binoculars, you can still do that. So if you go out on the night of the 11th, and again, just as it gets dark, this is great, you can see Uranus and the moon right there together with a good pair of binoculars or a small telescope. Just take your telescope, look at the moon, and start moving around the edges of the moon. Now, this occultation is going to occur. Where it really gets closest is probably somewhere on the order of 11:30 to midnight to 12:30. So if I go out at midnight, as we're turning the 11th into the 12th, I'm probably going to see the moon just graze, get within probably less than 1/4 of a degree of Uranus there and be right above it. And so I'll be able to find the planet just below there, either with a telescope or with my binoculars that I'm out there that night. So that's really what we're looking at. We're enjoying the star clusters of the Pleiades and the Hyades in Taurus, thinking about Mars. We've been tracking all fall. We've been Mars tracking from up near the Hyades out into the back end here of Taurus the bull. It's going to stop here before long and turn around and go back the other direction in a retrograde loop. We'll be sure to note that when that happens. And the moon's going to pass by there. The moon's going to pass by the Pleiades. And on the night of the 11th, that's Tuesday night, if you've got clear skies, it's worth trying to check out Uranus and the moon. If you've never seen Uranus, this is your chance to find it with the moon as your guide. So that's what we're looking for in the week of October 10th, 2022. I hope everybody has a great week. And as always, thanks for watching and clear skies.